As of the end of the year 2024, XRP is one of the cryptocurrencies that a large number of investors and analysts are keeping an eye on with great interest. The possibility of a major event occurring is what is driving the excitement, and it is the approval of an exchange-traded fund ETF that is directly linked to XRP. For those who are unfamiliar, an ETF is a financial product that is authorized by the government and allows both investors and large institutions to gain exposure to an asset without having to personally purchase and store it themselves. The impact of the launch of Bitcoin ETFs was tremendous. The market saw a significant tremation as institutional money flooded into the market and retail investors discovered that it was easier to get involved. These days, the similar discussion is taking place for XRP and has prompted others in whether this could be the turning point for XRP. This narrative revolves around BlackRock as a central figure. They manage trillions of dollars worth of assets, making them the largest asset management organization in the world. Their track record with exchange-traded funds, ETFs, is practically flawless. Regulatory bodies have given the green light to almost every single ETF that they have presented. For instance, their Bitcoin exchange-traded fund ETF has not only been given the go-ahead, but it has already established itself as one of the most successful ETF launches in the history of finance. As a result, when rumors and speculations began to spread that BlackRock was in the process of developing an ETF application for XRP, there was a natural sense of excitement in order to bolster the authenticity of the negotiations. A number of files, such as those for the iShares XRP Trust, have even been seen in public registries, which indicates the discussions are not simply speculation, they are progressing behind the scenes. However, BlackRock is not the only behemoth that is keeping a close watch on XRP. Grayscale, a digital asset manager that is another significant player in the industry, has also made measures to acknowledge XRP as a component of the products in its portfolio. Furthermore, we should not neglect to remember that Fidelity, along with other major players in the financial industry, have conducted experiments with products that are tied to XRP in markets around the world. The fact that there is institutional interest in XRP demonstrates that it has progressed beyond the status of a simple speculative coin for retail investors. It is gradually working its way into the frameworks of traditional finance. XRP may experience inflows of capital from sources that previously avoided cryptocurrency due to its complexity or regulation of exchange-traded funds, ETFs, and exchange-traded products, ETPs, acquire traction. In addition, it is essential to take into account the overall international situation. Ripple Labs is the firm that is responsible for developing the technology that drives XRP transactions. The company has formed relationships with banks, financial institutions, and even governments in order to further develop this technology. According to reports, the XRP ledger has been tested by nations that are considering central bank digital currencies as CBCs in order to see how well it performs in terms of both security and efficiency. For instance, the Republic of Palau has openly considered the possibility of utilizing Ripple's chip for its experiments with digital currency. The BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, have been associated with ideas about reducing reliance on the US and international trade by employing blockchain and crypto technology on a larger scale. XRP is frequently brought up as a potential contender for cross-border settlement, the fact that it is both fast and inexpensive. Nevertheless, there is not yet any official confirmation of this. Comparisons to Bitcoin are an additional aspect of the discourse that is taking place. There was a significant increase in pricing after Bitcoin's ETF was approved. Mainstream platforms suddenly offered investors a way to enter the market that was regulated and safe, after they had been waiting for such an opportunity to present themselves. Those that support XRP are the opinion that there is a possibility that history will repeat itself. Imagine that trillions of dollars in institutional capital are flowing via XRP in the same way that they did with Bitcoin. The supply of XRP is finite, and if there is a sudden increase in demand, fundamental economics would indicate that the price could react abruptly. In the event that this scenario plays out, optimistic forecasts predict that XRP will reach new highs. Nevertheless, it is crucial to emphasize that these are projections based on speculation, not so ever the speculation does not conclude with that. There are a few talks that suggest that JP Morgan, as well as other major banks, might have some exposure to XRP, or that they are investigating the possibility of using its technology for making payments across international borders. Despite the fact that these statements frequently lead to disagreements and occasionally do not receive formal verification, they emphasize a broader theme. Conventional financial institutions have ceased to disregard digital assets. Rather than that, they are testing, investing, and planning for a future in which blockchain-based assets like XRP may play a role in global banking. XRP is an integral element of every discussion, be it about settlements, remittances, or even derivatives. The emergence of exchange-traded products, EDPs, that are tied to XRP in specific international marketplaces is contributing to the momentum. Exchange-traded funds, ETFs, are comparable to these. However, they are frequently subject to distinct regulatory frameworks. Financial firms have demonstrated that they believe there is a market for XRP exposure through conventional instruments by virtue of their existence. The cryptocurrency sector as a whole, as well as XRP in particular, may experience a historic moment if the United States were to follow with a completely approved XRP exchange-traded fund ETF. The expansion of the community is another indicator of the excitement that surrounds XRP. Predictions, assessments, and speculation are all the rage on online forums, YouTube channels, and among cryptocurrency influencers. There are a few estimates that are quite enthusiastic, and these forecasts suggest that if it continues to rise, there is a possibility that valuations might reach triple or even quadruple digits. There are those who continue to exercise caution, warning us that development might be slowed down by governmental obstacles, competition from rival blockchain networks, and market conditions. The fact that investors are discussing, researching, and preparing for a variety of potential results is demonstrated by this wide range of perspectives, which is a good thing. The most essential thing for us is to remain in the loop and to maintain our connections as the tale continues to develop. For that reason, we would like to ask you to show your support by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and enabling notifications by tapping the bell button. We will carry on providing you with the most recent news, analysis, and updates on XRP and the cryptocurrency market as a whole as our community continues to grow more powerful. Additionally, we are commemorating our achievement of approaching 60,000 subscribers by holding a community giveaway. This giveaway is organized independently by this channel and is not associated with YouTube, Ripple, or any other organization. In order to become a member, you must follow the instructions that we will provide at the conclusion of this document. After that, you should leave a remark below with the participation code that you have been given. It is obvious that XRP is at a point where it is poised for either real world acceptance or speculation. The potential for electronic trading funds, ETFs, the increasing interest of institutions and the use cases on a worldwide scale all provide a glimpse into the future of a digital asset with unlimited possibilities. However, cryptocurrency investments, as with any other investment, are not without their hazards. There is always the possibility of competition from other projects, and prices can fluctuate dramatically. Additionally, regulations are subject to change at any moment. For this reason, we would like to remind you that the content presented here is intended solely for informational and educational purposes. This document is not intended to be used as a source of financial guidance. Before making any investments, you should always conduct your own research, seek expert advice if necessary, and make sure not to invest more than you can afford to lose. There is a long way to go before the story of XRP is over, and the next few months have the potential to determine its place in financial history. One thing is for sure, regardless of whether XRP ends up becoming the foundation of all the settlements or just another digital asset in a market that is already saturated, you will continue to hear that name. Therefore, you should be vigilant, maintain your enthusiasm, and continue to watch, as the tale is only just starting to unfold.